Benevolent or tyrannical, you choose. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 games where you play God.
Oh, that's right. You're off to kill your father, Zeus.
For this list, we'll be looking at various games where you take on the mantle of God and shape the virtual world around you. These rules can apply to an unseen force or the personification of an actual physical deity.
Thank you. Thank you for your mercy.
Number 10, From Dust. What is considered by many to be the spiritual successor to the highly regarded Populous. Players take on the role of the Breath, an almighty force that must aid a lone, masked tribe.
Tidak roh, nansi laki-laki, tanpa kita terpisah, tak sendiri dan duniani.
In an effort to recover what was lost to them, the Breath must help this tribe traverse through some dangerous territory open to the elements, preventing and surviving disasters such as tsunamis and volcanic eruptions, as well as setting up villages are just par for the course. Consisting of a series of short-lived missions, your time as the Breath may feel brief, but the result is no doubt exhilarating. Number 9, Doodle God.
In the beginning, there was only Doodle God. Doodle God created the 4 basic elements.
Wielding unlimited power and shaping the world around you is the centerpiece for a lot of Android and iOS titles. But nothing does it quite like this simple yet engaging puzzle and logic game. As the titular Doodle God, players are tasked with creating the world from scratch, starting off with the 4 basic elements. From there, they must make combinations of each to form new elements, which gradually start to encompass everything from houses to horror icons. Increasing in difficulty with each new creation, Doodle God's addictive nature will ensure that you will be one busy deity.
From water, seas and oceans were created. From fire were created volcanoes and other stuff.
Number 8, Reus. Why does humanity always have to be such a pain in the ass? Taking control of 4 giants that represent the natural elements, players have to provide and sustain various tribes across contrasting environments. Yet they have no control over how the humans act. The key here is striking a balance, as not giving enough spells doom for the populace below. Providing too much leads to mankind turning to greed, and eventually they take up arms against each other, blending beautiful visuals and constantly shifting pace. If anything, this game will make you really, really hate human beings. Number 7, ActRaiser. Although you technically control the protagonist known as the Master, it's clear that you're basically playing a god, what with the whole descending from heaven and empowered by people's belief thing. In order to defeat Tanzra, players must not only slay his 6 lieutenants that have divided and taken dominion over the world, but also help replenish civilization through the medium of city building simulation segments. It may seem like an odd mesh of styles, but they do complement each other, giving the game a whole other dimension and something of a unique identity. Number 6, Populous. You may as well call this the granddaddy of God games. And despite having visuals that haven't exactly aged well with time, it's still something of a classic. It turns out that you're not actually the only deity in this world, and don't plan on sharing too much. The objective of the game is to constantly expand your rule over the surrounding land and defeat the opposing deity's forces by any means necessary. Over the course of 500 levels, not only do you have to help build a civilization for your followers, but you also get to lay down some pretty sweet divine judgment on your enemies. Number 5, Age of Mythology.
How long ago did the army of Gargarensis pass through here?
Not long, a few days perhaps.
It seems like characters from ancient tales were just made for real-time strategy games. Able to invoke the support of the gods from Greek, Norse, and Egyptian culture, players must battle their way across the eras and lay waste to their enemies, all while bolstering their forces and fortifying their settlements in a typical Age of fashion. With the added joy of summoning the likes of Zeus or Odin to bring some heavy artillery into the fight, this title is definitely for those who love strategy but want a little more zest in their campaigns. Number 4, God of War series.
No matter how many gods fall, there will always be another to stand against you.
They will fall as well.
Though he held the title for only a little while, Kratos is by all means a god in his own right. Or, more specifically, a god killer, because those Olympians drop like flies when they encounter this vengeful Spartan. The other gods of Olympus set, one stage or another, have all had it in for Kratos, thus perpetuating a constant cycle of betrayal and vengeance until only Zeus is left and Kratos' rage brings the world to ruin. Navigating twisted puzzles and pummeling the heaven out of his enemies with quite the arsenal of mythical weaponry, the Ghost of Sparta is a man who knows how to get the job done, God of War or not. Number 3, Spore. Creating life has never been so investing, or hyped. Blending together a whole mesh of gameplay styles through a procedurally generated world that eventually reaches the darkness of space. Players must develop their very own species and lead it through the various stages of evolution. Starting off as a microorganism before eventually growing into a sophisticated being, the option to customize your creature's appearance, develop its characteristics, and all of those other role-playing elements all seemed a little too good to be true for this game, and for a lot of gamers it basically was. Number 2, The Sims series. Leading the charge when it comes to life simulation, you have everyone's favorite virtual family. While each new entry has improved upon its foundations, at its core, The Sims' most engaging feature is the ability to create a cast of characters and direct them on their journey through life. With the release of The Sims 4, aspects such as career paths, social interactions, and emotional states have all vastly widened, creating an even more crisp reflection of reality. Though, to be fair, nothing makes you feel like the hand of God when you let death loose on that one family member that's overstayed its welcome. Number 1, Black and White.
A land of innocence has no need for gods. Until fate intervenes.
The concept of good versus evil has been touched upon in thousands of video games, but when it comes to portraying a nameless deity whose actions and morality shape the world around them, no one does it better than Lionhead Studios' masterpiece.
Able to change eternity. That god is you.
With the goal of protecting and maintaining a village, as well as defeating the destructive force known as Nemesis, players work towards creating miracles and keep their villagers satiated while completing various tasks. To see where you stand in the eyes of your people, look no further than your temple of worship. Good, evil, or everything in between, there's no greater god game than the one that makes players take a look at themselves.
Yes, we must see if there's anything we can do for them. It does look like they need help.
Do you agree with our list? What do you think is the best game where you play God? With new top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
You aspire to be an Olympian, yet their reign is ending.